Okay, so I hate to have to say it, but I've had a change of heart. Whew.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, and this is episode 3. And like I said, I have had a change of heart, and it was kind of inevitable. Like, I love Milk. I love Milk. Milk has driven me crazy. Like, literally, in just 3 weeks' time, I've had all the milk I can take, honey. I've become lactose intolerant. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. We come back in, of course, you know, good old Thorgy Thor left a little nasty message on the mirror for Shanji, and Kennedy said, not cool. I don't like it. And I thought it was petty. I thought it was very petty. I thought it was very backhanded and very Thorgy, you know. It was what it was. And Milk's like, well, I mean, it's a joke, and she's a clown, and you don't get it because you're not a clown. Well, you look like a clown right now. I said, oh, Milk, bitch. Watch it, because you already know. See, it's one thing to be a jokester and a prankster and playing games with people you can play with. See, if she would have said that to Shangela, that would have been one thing. If he'd have said it to Aja, that'd been something else. Kennedy don't play like that. You've never seen Kennedy even in a banter like that back and forth with people, because she's more serious. She's not that bitch that plays them games like that. And then Kennedy started kind of picking up on some things. And Milk was just literally coming for Kennedy, like just steadily coming for her, talking about Kennedy's drag and how her drag wasn't all that exciting to her. And she could have seen Kennedy, see her going home as opposed to Thorgy, and all of this business. I said, Milk, you are doing too much. And you're going to be the next person whose mouth writes a check that their ass can't cash. And this is what I'm starting to see here. This is starting to be the ongoing thing, is all these checks being written, and these asses can't cash these checks. I'm like, this is a mess. I said, okay, well, she kept on. And as we're going through, you know who Milk is reminding me of? Chanel. And from the beginning, when I first started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, when Chanel came, I always loved Chanel's drag, but I couldn't do Chanel. Chanel just, something in my crawl, she just laid right in there. I just couldn't take her. It just was just too much. It was, girl, I just wanted to mash her in the mouth. And Milk has gotten to that same place with me. I can't even hang on. I'm trying to hang on to things that you did your season that I actually liked. I haven't even liked anything you've done this season. So this whole bitchy act on top of it, and all this crybaby shit on top of it, and you're not even doing nothing. Bye, Milk. Bye. See you, girl. I done had enough. Goodbye. The milk is spoiled and it's starting to stink. See you. You can go. As far as I'm concerned, you can go. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so guest judges were Constance Zimmer, and we also had Jeffrey Boyer Chapman with his fine self, honey. And the main challenge was a recreation of basically The Bachelor, but it was called The Bitchler. And of course, it was Jeffrey. And they had the girls paired up, and they were going to be vying for his affection and all of that. BB actually played a virgin, and she brought it as naturally an African woman. Like, she was a virgin. She had just come to the States, and she's doing all these little African things, like throwing rose petals and falling to his feet. And he's like, That's not necessary. That's not necessary. And it was kind of her character. It was boring. Flat out. It was boring. It was, I said, girl, you're probably going to end up being just safe because it's not bad, but it's boring. It's not memorable. It's not anything really going on. Ben Delacreme was one of my choices for out of there. Ben played a cougar. So she was more like a mountain lion, honey, and she was killing it. She's old drunken bitch, honey. She was drunk and had these big ass shoes on, these oversized big titties, and she was just desperate and old, just an old barfly cocksucker is what she basically was, and was dead on it. Dead on it. But again, comedy is right up her alley. Right up on her alley, and she went right in the pocket with it. Right in the pocket. It was good, really, really good. Chi-Chi and Shangela were paired up. Shangela was basically like, they were part of a polyamorous situation, and Shanji was the more dominant one. So Shanji was supposed to be basically, she was really into Jeffrey, and Chi-Chi was supposed to kind of be into Shangela. Well, that whole thing fell apart. It wasn't good. Problem with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi has gotten in her head, and she's doing that thing that I don't do, and I can't stand, because it's very problematic for you as a queen when you start comparing yourself to other people. You should never compare yourself to other people. If you're only ever competing with yourself, you have no issues. Now you're comparing yourself to other people. You're comparing your clothing that you buy to the clothing that they buy. You're comparing your talent and your skill level to their skill level, and it's fucking you up. Where you're not concentrating on what is it that you do, baby. What do you do? Because you ain't got nothing to do with what they do. What do you do? And it's coming across. You're messing yourself up. And she's doubting herself as to whether she should actually be there. I'm like, come on, Chi-Chi, you come too far for this. You've come too far for this. It's a bad look, but I see where you're at, and it's a dangerous place to be. You should never put yourself in a position where you're competing with other people. Baby, do you. Try to outdo you. If you work on outdoing you and what you've done, you ain't got no time to be fooling with nobody else. And your best foot's going to always come forward because you're always working on doing more than what you did last time. What you did last time, not what they did or what they're doing or what you think they're doing. Because you don't really know what they're doing, really. It's what you think they're doing. And if you really know what they're doing, then you're really not paying enough attention to what it is that you're supposed to be doing. But that was the problem. So they were both a little bit off, but of course Shangela is a comedy girl anyway, so she was able to kind of move it and work it. But I wanted more from Shanji because she could actually do better. Chi-Chi's situation just was kind of boring and kind of off and all in her head. It just wasn't good. Not one of my picks. Aja played a woman who was supposedly insecure and needy. It didn't come across well that way. I agree with the judges because it wasn't needy. It was whiny is what she did with the character. It wasn't needy. She was more whiny. She was paired with Kennedy. Kennedy played a party girl, and she was ghetto phi ghetto. That was the sorority she was in, and did the hell out of it. She literally killed it. Of all the girls, Kennedy was my favorite. So those were my two faves, was Ben and Kennedy were my faves. She did. She really, she killed it. The way she padded her body. She had teeth missing. She was, like I said, ghetto phi ghetto. It was a hot ass mess. And she was real raunchy and real ratchet. I loved it. I was like, bitch. Bitch. It was a whole mess. It was given very, instead of giving the Bachelor, baby, it was given very Flav, and Flavor of Love. That's what it was given. It was a mess. I said, okay. So Kennedy was my pick overall. Next we had Milk and Trixie were matched up together. Milk played like a stalker bitch, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was It was more of a psychotic portrayal of something or other. And it was over-talked, and it was overacted, and it was very boisterous and very loud. And Michelle Visage told them from the door when they first came in onto the set, do not overtalk each other. Be mindful of your spacing and all of that. She did everything that Michelle said don't do. She overtalked. Trixie could hardly get a joke in and stuff like that. So it messed up Trixie's performance as well because she was so over the top and trying to take up all the airtime, which is becoming a problem. I'm starting to see that Milk likes to try to upstage people. Milk is consumed with drinking her own Kool-Aid. And it has a whole lot of sugar in it. And somewhere along the lines, she's become a diabetic on the milk. Mess. Trixie played a fake bitch, and she was good, but it was just that her partner screwed up her performance. And she didn't want to over-talk Milk, because that would have just really been a mess. So she just kind of was in a position where it was damned if you do, damned if you don't. And Milk really screwed it up for Trixie, because Trixie was doing really well with her character. Anyway, so that was that. All right, so then the skit itself turned out, again, these skits, I don't know if it's the same writers that Ru has had in the past, but they are doing an excellent job with writing these skits, because I generally don't really fall in love with these skits, but this was really good. It was really fun. It was really entertaining. It's something I would have liked to have taken place and taken part in. I never feel like that in the seasons. I just be like, okay, if I had to do it, I would do it, but it's not, you know, it's just like, okay, whatever, just some camp stuff, whatever. But no, these have been really, really good this season. Really good. So I don't know if it's the same writers and they're just doing that bang up job, or if we got new writers on hand. I would stick my neck out and say we probably got some new writers in there, and this is fresh and new, and I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, the runway was wigs on wigs on wigs. And of course, you know, it was an ode to our girl, Roxy Andrews. Because for Roxy she is the forever wig reveal girl. It on RuPaul's Drag Race. It is what it is. So they did it. And it was, you know, the ones that stood out for me was BB. BB was good because BB went from a whole sculptured, very Asian, origami-esque type of situation, and it broke apart some type of way and ended up being the series of the balls of hair. Really sharp, but she had the whole kimono thing going on with, you know, and it was long, then it broke down into a short. Really intricate and really well done. Very, very BB. I liked it. Chi Chi. Now, Chi Chi and the wigs on wigs on wigs, Chi Chi showed up and did the best thing she's done since they opened the season. That Chi Chi was done. And done. Do you understand me? She came out, she gave you mahogany. Baby, big old afro. Looked real nice in her outfit. Came up out of her head. It was one of the dresses. The dress was real 60s inspired with the holes on the side. She came up out of the big old wig, baby, and had bone straight Naomi Campbell, part down the middle, real long. I said, come on. And face was dusted. And I'll have to say, to date, this is the best look I've ever seen Chi Chi in. She did that. It was excellent. Tore it up. Ben Delacreme, hers was good because it was Ben. It was overly done. She did the hair. Then she had a reveal. And then even her skirt dropped out, and her skirt was all hair. Like layers of hair done like fringe. It was Ben. It was what I expected of Ben. She did a good job. Aja came out like a cartoon character off of a book, and it was very Nina Bonina type of situation going on. She lifted that mess off. It was real hair, and when she got done stripping down and carrying on, she looked just like an anime character. I said, girl, if you don't look like something off of PlayStation 2, bitch, it was good. And that again, another one. Aja has been the best. I'm so proud of her. She has been the best. I'm so glad that it's like she's taken a grapefruit and put it into the eyes of all those people that were doubting and saying, why is Aja here? She's showing you bitches why she's here. She is doing a bang up job. She really is. It was good. I really, really liked it. Kennedy. Kennedy did Kennedy. It went from real big hair down to some smaller hair, down to a complete little pixie, which I love Kennedy in a real tight Josephine Baker-esque pixie. She really looks good in that type of hair. And it was blonde. And it, and her color went from dark to lighter to light to platinum. And it was like, yeah, Kennedy, bitch. Yeah. Real good. Okay, so we pick our top twos. Kennedy and Ben. I was right on that. So they were the top two. Bottom three, Aja, Chi-Chi, Milk. Okay? BB was safe. Trixie was safe. Okay? So when they talked to Chi-Chi, I had to give it up to Chi-Chi because this is the third time that you've ended up in the bottom. But honestly, nobody will ever get after you about being honest. Okay? They asked her some questions. She was very honest about what was going on with her and how she felt bad about it and how she knows she needs to correct it. And she don't even know if she's going to be able to correct it if she's too far out at this point with it or whatever. But she was honest. And I think the judges took that into consideration and they didn't beat her up too bad. Because again, honesty, you can't get mad at a person for being honest. You can't. She didn't make excuses. She was just honest. And that for me was respectable. But anyway, so that was that. Milk's ass is delusional as hell. She went back into that whole thing. And when they went backstage, they get to interviewing the girls. Honey, Miss Kennedy had already told us, I don't want to interview nobody. We all knew. If Kennedy wins, Milk girl, you're going to be sent for the hills, baby. We all knew. And I was rooting for Kennedy because I'm tired. I'm ready for Milk to take it on home. I'm tired of getting the bubble guts from week to week, messing with Milk. I need you gone. So I was rooting Kennedy, get this bitch on out of here. So anyway, when Ben was interviewing them, Child Milk was all delusional and told the judges want me here. And the other contestants want me here. Because and I don't belong in the bottom with these other girls. I said, oh, this bitch. I'm done. I'm like, that right there, I can't with you no more, baby. I'm sorry. I'm done. Off of my list of people that if she came to Pittsburgh, baby, I wouldn't go see Milk. She has turned me completely off. I would not get in my car and go anywhere in the city to see her. I wouldn't get in my car and ride to the end of my driveway to see the bitch down there on the curb. I wouldn't do it. She has turned me completely off of her. Ugly. That's just ugly. Anyway, so they go into this whole they go ahead and they do their lip sync. Hey, I wasn't real crazy about the song. I don't even know who the song was. Oh, it was Lord. It was Lord. Green Light. It's an okay song, but for my lip sync for Your Legacy, I was like, But anyway, I was like, is this a little dance number? Because Kennedy had a whole cover up, so I'm thinking we get ready to dance. She has real big, pretty hair on, but she broke it down, took it off, took her cover up off, had this really nice gown, real nice gown. She just did lip sync. She came up out of the hair again and had like a nice, very 1920s type of hairdo thing going on. And Ben actually had this dress that, for lack of something better to say, looked cheap. It was cute. It was campy, something cute for a bar, but altogether cheap with the whole drag queen clear pump type situation with the black platform. It just was a cheesy look. I didn't like it. And it wasn't, the look wasn't serious enough for me to take the performance of the song serious. This shit is real long ponytail. She kept getting tied up in the ponytail. No, Ben, baby, that didn't work. So Kennedy won. And of course, you know what happened. So, oh, yeah, it took me really long to think about this. And it was hard. Girl, bye, Milk Honey. I said, bitch. She sure did. She said, bye, girl. You got to go. And the funny part, Milk actually had an attitude. But how can you have an attitude, bitch? You said in a confessional in the beginning of the episode that you would send Kennedy home. That it was time for Kennedy to go home. You said that yourself. And karma came and bit you in the ass. And you ended up going home. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. And of course, you know, at the end, we get Ru acting stupid. She gets on there. She's like, hey, kitty girl. You haven't seen the last of me. That's right. Wagon wheel Watusi. I said, you know what, Ru? Don't start your shit. And then they got Chad and Alaska in the back. Child, cutting a jig. I said, it was a mess. I just bust out laughing. I said, child, they sent the clown out in clown style, honey. It was a mess. But whatever. That was it. Another good episode. I enjoyed it. And I was really happy that Milk went home. It's a shame. I kept in the door with this season screaming, milk, 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 milk. And now I'm all like, milk, 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 milk. Girl, get on out of here, honey. I done had enough. Lord have mercy. How did I become lactose intolerant in just 3 weeks? That's some bad stuff, girl, you got going on there, Miss Milk Honey. Just spoiled. Anyway, see y'all next week.